Hi, I'm Karen Downing Ripley, and I invite you to join me on a recent, unexpected side trip to Brittany, France during the 80th anniversary of the city of Plélo's liberation celebration and learn why Americans and Bretons celebrate their shared DNA from World War II. A last-minute decision to deliver my father's World War II documents to the city of Plélo, France, opened me up to an amazing experience that has truly changed my life. I ask that you join me so that you too can know and appreciate how we Americans are respected and revered because our ancestors fought to liberate the town of Plélo in August 1944. When my partner Burt and I headed for a 6-week trip to England and Europe, we soon realized that we had bitten off way more than we could chew. As we revealed in previous episodes, Burt and I found our trip marred by the difficulties of modern-day travel. We enjoyed crossing the stormy English Channel by ferry to France and then driving a rental car through Belgium, Austria, and Germany. On our way to Prague, we began to get tired of all the things we had to deal with when traveling in Europe. Everything seemed to be more difficult than it had been on our trips in the past. Reliance on the internet was frustrating. We had to navigate different apps in various languages for accommodations and food, parking, driving, language, money, time, everything. After fighting through language barriers and parking meters, after getting lost in the Alps and a nightmare journey to the Italian Riviera, we decided to head straight back to England for some much-needed R&R. Before leaving our home and our 6 cats in Texas, I had in the last minute hurriedly gathered my father's and Colonel Hamsley's World War II documents in an old manila folder and buried them in the back of my overstuffed suitcase. I figured we would be in France, and if it worked out, I might be able to deliver my father's documents to the mayor or town historian. There in Plélo, where my father had served in World War II. Now that we were heading back, I really just wanted to spend more time with our friends in England for a nice visit before we caught our flight home from London. After all, we didn't know Plélo still existed. Did Plélo even have a city hall or a mayor, much less an historian? Who would be there to receive Dad's war documents? I told Burt I would do some research and maybe I could mail the documents. I was too tired to extend the trip to Plélo. Fortunately, having lived with me for 29 years, Burt knew I was apt to change my mind. He knew that I would be sorry if I didn't deliver my father's war documents. He had heard my stories about how my father had helped liberate Plélo during World War II. Without me realizing it, Burt had quietly turned the car toward Plélo, and the next day, when I told him how I regretted not going, he exclaimed, "We are on the way there now," even though ending up in Plélo was unplanned, and we were way too tired to make the side trip. As you will soon learn, Providence had another plan. As we traveled in the direction of Plélo, I began remembering Daddy's big fish stories about World War II. I knew he had won medals and was a hero. He was always a hero to me. When Daddy returned from the war, he wasn't a 17-year-old Ohio farm boy, excited to get off the farm to see the world. He was no longer thrilled with the army and 3 hot meals a day, plus all the milk he could drink. He had returned a 20-year-old seasoned soldier with Patton's Third Army. He had survived combat and fought in all 4 European theaters and had the medals to prove it. He was now a warrior and an expert in the ways of the war and the world. Like the song says, how you gonna keep them down on the farm after they've seen Paris? Well, in Delbert Downey's case, you would never be able to hold him down. After weeks of indecision about extending our trip to Plélo, Burt, unbeknownst to me, had turned the car toward Plélo. I was happy and relieved that we were going to honor my father's World War II service as a liberator. The quiet drive through the Brittany countryside gave me time to remember some of Dad's war stories that he had such a profound effect on his life and all those around him. Be sure to join me as I reflect on my first meeting with my father. I was 20 years old, and in spite of being raised without him, I was pleased to find that we were very much alike. We grew closer as we told each other about our lives. When he shared his war stories, I often told him that I wished I could have been there with him, and he would say, "You were there, Karen Beth."